Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and MTV has done something that no one asked for. That would be the reboot of AEON FLUX. Now, if you don't remember AEON FLUX from MTV's edgier days back in the early 90s, then you clearly didn't have the right masturbation material. Even that was a little bit rough to get through. But the point is that that show was very sexually charged. That little animated short that popped up on Liquid Television, that was a very, 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 very interesting thing for the time when it came out, dealing with the subject of death and murder and killing and sex and cyanide and hangings. It was a brutal, brutal show that is awesome in small doses. Then, of course, they tried making a movie back in the day, back in 2005, and that was a pile of crap. Even Charlize Theron didn't bring it. And I like Charlize. Now, it says here that AEON FLUX is returning to the small screen roots. The cult series first aired on MTV as an experimental animated series in 1991, was later adapted into a 2005 feature film, but after the critical and commercial disappointment of the big screen AEON FLUX, MTV is having another go at it, this time on their home turf. Now, to be fair, MTV has taken some properties like Teen Wolf and other things and turned them around. They've turned them into profitable, popular shows. That could happen here. But we're living in the age of the Me Too movement. We're living in the age of feminism and being very heavily pushed in TV and media. So as a result of that, that's probably not going to end up going over very well in regards to the production value of the show. Because while the show does center on a tough as nails female protagonist, and while that will definitely be a key element of what we see, her sexuality, especially in the way it was perceived in the show, using it to get what she wants, using it to get the kill, using it to get ahead, and then ultimately all the time she died through very violent means, will probably be very much subdued. I mean, clearly her death will be subdued. It will never happen. She's being the protagonist of a show. She's not Kenny McCormick from South Park dying every single week. But at the same time, there are elements of the show that Peter Cheung created that are just not going to make it in, even with today's technology and with today's lighter restrictions on what kind of content we can see on MTV that the sponsors will allow. I just don't see this being a good call. Now, the 2005 Karyn Kusama film was bad. Was pretty bad, and I can see why they walked away from it. But Peter Cheung's a fantastic animator. If you haven't seen Chronicles of Riddick Dark Fury, that was the 30-minute prequel animated film that he did, bridging the gap between Riddick and Chronicles of Riddick from 2004, which is pretty dope, and I recommend it. Now, MTV is developing this. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Teen Wolf showrunner Jeff Davis is going to pen the script and executive produce alongside The Walking Dead's Gale Anne Hurd, who produced the 2005 film. Now, Gale Anne Hurd has been around for a long time. She worked with James Cameron, I think, on Terminator 1 and 2. She's been a producer in the game for a while. She obviously helped make The Walking Dead as big of a show as it is, although now coming into its 9th season is one that a lot of people are probably over to an extent. But moving on to this type of content, it's going to be, she'll be able to bring a certain something to it, but her having worked on the first film is not giving. I don't think it's going to give anyone any reprieve. They're not going to like lighten any concerns. So this is what the premise is going to be for the new series. The live action series is set in a future dystopian state and revolves around a young assassin who teams up with a group of biohacking rebels to save humanity as she becomes the hero known as AEON FLUX. Okay. All right, so a dystopian future, it's okay, fine. Not like we haven't seen it before. Not like it's not a thing that, happens a lot. But again, dystopian futures are always something everyone fears and can relate to in that regard. So yeah, wanting to have that makes sense. And it revolves around a young assassin. So this is before AEON FLUX becomes as badass as she was in the animated short films, with a group of biohacking rebels to save humanity as she becomes the hero known as AEON FLUX. You gotta love how they take, like, again, it's gonna be like an anti-hero situation where she's an assassin. So she's got, she'll do dark things to get ahead, but they'll push the envelope enough with the audience to not ever let you hate her. But if you ever do, they'll find ways to win you back. There are shows that play with those themes, and they do it in a really good way, like Barry on HBO does a good job with that, with playing with that particular mindset. But here, I just don't really see it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not thrilled for this, to be honest with you. I don't think this is going to be a fantastic thing. I don't think this is going to be a huge thing. I think this is just going to be another show that they do one season of, realize it's too costly, not enough people are watching it, and MTV is not the place to have a show about an assassin who teams up with biohacking rebels in order to become a hero of a future dystopian. Something like that's going to basically require Netflix or Hulu or something equivalent. But then again, this is MTV. They run Teen Mom. So they have a very far way to fall before hitting rock bottom. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been the $3 Theater. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, check back often for more content from me. In fact, if you want to see more content from me, and I hope you do, you can do so right now.